Hey everybody, Christopherodd here. Welcome to a game called Gloomhaven. This is releasing in early access on Steam as we speak. And if you're at all familiar with the Gloomhaven name, that's probably because you're a board game fan. And if you look at BoardGameGeek.com right now, the #1 game on there is, you guessed it, Gloomhaven. And it's really cool that they're bringing that experience over to the PC. These guys reached out and asked if I'd be interested in doing a few sponsored videos because I have played games that are similar in style to this. I will tell you that I've played a few hours of this. It's intense. It's very difficult, and there's a lot to manage. I feel like the best way to explain it will just kind of be to take it step by step. I'll explain what I know. There might be some people that are very familiar with the board game that could fill in some of the blanks because I've had some questions. I've gone to the board game manual to figure it out. But it's all there if you look hard enough. So anyways, let's get started. First of all, we need to pick a party. Now, at the beginning, we have 6 different pairings here made up of 4 different characters. Now, at release, like when it's fully released, I believe they're gonna have like 17 characters available. And then each character has its own set of cards. This is how we do damage, heal, move, all of that. And we'll get into that once we dive in here. So I think for this run, we're going to go with Cragheart, who's kind of like a tanky fighter. And then we have a Spellweaver in the back who, you guessed it, casts spells, does some healing, can also do significant damage as well. So let's start a new adventure here. And we're going to go on the normal difficulty. You can go hard, you can go insane, but trust me, you're going to have your hands full on normal, especially if you've never played the board game. There's a lot to learn. So let's get started here. So this game reminds me a little bit of Darkest Dungeon. There's also kind of some Slay the Spire stuff with the way that the cards are handled. It's really, I don't know, it's unique, but it's got these, you can feel some influences from other games, but because it came from the board game world, you can also feel that influence is like heavy, you know? So at the start, we pick a path. Now, the green path is easy, as you can see on the right there. This has a run length of 2 scenarios. You can see what the potential rewards are. There's the red path, which is hard, in 3 scenarios. And then there's the medium path, which is 3 scenarios long as well. We're going to start on the easy path. We got to reach the burned tavern. The remains of an old tavern stands testament to happier times raided by bandits and sightings of unmentionable creatures from the petrified forest to the south drove away the owners in recent years. The sign, the Happy Hearth, creaks forlornly in the breeze. Let's go. We're going to start a new adventure. The first stop, Vaults of Apus. The stench of death permeates through this area. Something is not right here. So our goal is to kill all enemies, and we are dealing with cultists, living corpses. You can see that this has 4 health, 2 movement, 1 attack damage, and 1 attack range. Living corpse, 3 damage, a little bit tankier, can't move as far, and has to be right next to you. So we're going to start here and see how we do. There are random encounters, it turns out, along the way, where sometimes if you think you're going to your destination, you're like, oh, we're just chill, we're going to get there. Nope, you're going to have to do something. Okay, now, first things first, let's just take a look at, let's kind of take everything in here. These rooms, I really actually like how they've done this. You're isolated to this single room. You don't know what's behind any of the doors. We've come in through this door. This is the only one to leave from right now. And you can see the enemies that we're going to be dealing with. The way that this works, okay, it's all card-based, as I said. We're going to select 2 cards for each character every turn, and then we're going to play an action from each card. Now, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. First thing is initiative. So that's what all these numbers are here along this left side. The lower your initiative number, the earlier in the round you're going to go. Very typical RPG stuff, okay? You're going to notice that every card is split into 2 sections. So there's a top section and there's a bottom section here. If I pick to use this card and this card, then I have to use the top section of one, the bottom section of the other, and it could be reversed. So I want to use the top section here, then I have the bottom section of the other one to use. This is important because this basically defines your entire strategy when you're picking your 2 cards. The other thing of note is that these little icons in the bottom right corner of an ability means that when you use that, this card is getting burned, and you can't use it anymore unless you do some type of rest. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But every card, every single one, also has a very basic 2 attack and a 2 move option. So if you don't want to burn your abilities, and by burn I mean use them up, then you can always use a 2 move or a 2 attack from either one. So to start out, we've got 3 enemies here. We kind of want him moving towards them because he should be our tanky dude. We have this ability to move really far if we want, but again, it would burn it. And I really would caution you to use those cards early. I'd caution against it because if you're burning those up, then you're going to be in a tough spot in later rooms. So I think we'll probably want to use Massive Boulder, but I'm not going to pick this first, and I'll show you why in a second. This is a move of 4, so I could use that to get in closer. And then maybe I could do something like, let's see. What else do we have? Opposing Strike could be good if we could get like way in there, but I can't really. We do have this Dirt Tornado, which can muddle everybody. This basically impacts their attack initiatives to the negative. It's good for us, it's bad for them. And it doesn't burn the ability. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick Dirt Tornado first. Now this is important. Your initiative number is only based on the first card that you pick. So if I want him to go earlier in the round, I would want to pick a lower number card first. But because we're so far away, I need to close ground. And then we're going to try and use this muddle. And it does some damage, but we want to muddle these guys to impact their attacks. So let's do this. And then we go over to our second person, our Spellweaver. You can see as well that she's got a couple of items. So this Cloak of Invisibility. So if something really bad is happening and she's in danger, we can make her invisible. And then we have a Minor Power Potion, where during your attack, you can add +1 to your entire attack action. Which is pretty cool. Now, her skills are a little bit more range favored. So this one has an attack range of 3, 1, 2, 3. And let's see, we could always just use like a basic move if we want, or we could do... We could get a heal ready, but likely she's going to go first because a lot of hers are a lot lower than his. Unless we're going to go Ride the Wind, which we don't need to loot and we don't need to use this crazy move/jump. So let's just pick some basic attacks here. Now, normally you're going to see that cards are split into like attack stuff at the top and then heals or movement or some other type of ability at the bottom that isn't an attack. This one, however, does have an attack on both. So if I want to sit back here, I could, and I could just make some attacks. But these are all range of 2s, which is going to be a problem. So anyways, let's pick this Mana Bolt. We'll start getting some damage in. And we'll also go with... maybe... I kind of want to save just basic attacks for this fight if I can. So I could pick something that's like a little bit more expensive that I won't use and just use the movement aspect of it. Let's do the Ride the Wind here. We've made our selections. So now we're going to see what the cards are of the enemies. He's going to summon Living Bones. Cultist suffers 2 damage, so he's going to hurt himself to do this. And then this guy has a move range of 1 and attack of 3, but he's pretty far away, so not a huge deal. As I said, we'll probably just use the movement of this one. And the movement's always associated, you can see this curve down here. It's associated with the bottom portion of the card. And the attack is associated with the top part. I want to get a little closer. Maybe I don't even. Maybe I don't. I think we're just going to do the attack. And you can see here, he should take 2 from our attack out of his total 5, but there's a couple things to keep in mind here. When we hover over our character on the right side, you're going to see attack modifiers. Now, in the board game, to my understanding, every time you do an attack, you're also drawing a card from a stack of attack modifiers. And those little blips that you see, like under the 0, we've got like 6 little orange or yellow dots. That's the amount of quote-unquote cards in that stack for that attack modifier. So very likely that we're going to end up somewhere in a -1 to +1 range. But this character also has 3 times 3, I guess, entries into this pool of cards that can be drawn that are ×2, where she'll do ×2 the amounts of damage, which is pretty significant, as you can imagine. Anyways, let's get this attack done. I will say, I really like the animations. I hope that they add more like sounds and stuff that are going on. But again, this is super early, so I'm sure that kind of stuff will come with time. And if I want, I can, we can select the movement. We can either go here, go back, and then confirm it, or you can just skip our move altogether. Because really, I'm seeing here that we're not going to be able to move till the very end with Craighart. So I want to keep her as far back as I can. He's summoning in that skeleton, which is pretty strong considering he's only got to give up 2 health to bring it in. And these guys, they know that they're suiciding till death anyway, so not a big deal. Now, how do we want to handle this? We could do something where we have this massive boulder. All allies and enemies adjacent to the target suffer 1 damage. So what I could do is I could take this shot here for 3, hopefully kill him. You can see his attack modifier, so nothing's guaranteed. There's still some variability in terms of the damage that you can do. If we did that, it would also damage this guy. Now, if I attacked this dude here, 1, 2, 3, I'd have to move first. But if I attacked him, then he would take 3, this guy would take 1, and he still lives. We could just straight up kill this guy, or maybe kill this guy. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use this dirt tornado kind of as we planned. And I'm going to move to block first. So remember, if we use the bottom, we have to use the top. So that's part of our planning. I'm going to get right in there to try and tank these guys. We'll move in. And it always, you can move to any kind of waypoint and then continue to move or go back or whatever. So when you're done, you have to skip the rest of your movement. And then we're going to use this dirt tornado. Now, it may look like this is just attacking in a circle and any kind of hex around us. However, it's got a range of 2, so you can actually push this out a little bit and impact people that way. So I'm going to put this up here, and we're going to muddle these guys. Let's go ahead and confirm that. This is kind of like, the way I understand it, it's kind of like a confusion status. Oh, nice. Whoa, okay, cool. So you'll notice there what happened. The attack is 1 damage. He had 2, but I guess our attack modifier kicked in, and we got a little bit extra there. And I think those attack modifiers are on each target because this guy didn't take any damage. So we got unlucky on some, but really lucky on that guy. So all good. Anyways, these guys are now muddled. Okay, so next turn. What I probably want to prioritize is some lower level attacks, lower level in terms of initiative, so I can just get these kills done, right? So I could pick this one, and we could just use a basic attack to kill this guy off. And then what else would I have? I'm looking at my bottom ability if I want to use any of these. A lot of these are burns. So what I mean by that is like the card will get used up and won't be recycled back into our deck when we rest. She has a specific ability that can bring back destroyed cards, but he doesn't. So what I'm looking for is something I can do at the bottom. I could always just move as well. We have a heal here, but I kind of want to save that. I think I'll use this one. What the loot is, it'll loot in the circle around us, or I can just use it to move. So let's do that. And then for her, this is that reviving ether, so you recover all of your lost cards. So the cards that you've burned. I believe that's how it works. Let's see. This is pretty decent for an attack. And Yeah, let's grab this. We could even... Yeah, we could even do it this way. Because we're just going to do basic attacks here, right? Maybe what I even do is I use this immobilize on him so he can't move in. We can immobilize there and then just use the movement. And she could go ahead and just kill this guy with the with this basic attack. I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's pick these two. So I hope I'm doing an okay job of explaining it. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. But if you guys are familiar with the board game and all of its intricacies, then you probably know this really well because it's a pretty faithful representation of the game to my understanding. So here, let's go ahead and do this on him. So we got the -1 there, you see that? So that was our attack modifier kicking in for -1. He's now immobilized and muddled. And we could put these shields up. These icons represent different things we just don't really need to get into right now. What I'm going to do is select this and skip movement so he stays there. And then now we have a couple of options. Do I want to go for him? He's got 3 damage. He does 1 damage, but he can target 2. But he is muddled and immobilized. So maybe what I do is I try and kill this guy off. And there's a couple of ways we could do that. So if I just go for this basic attack here, you'll notice this thing is highlighted. So we build up these little tokens, let's say. And whenever that's available, we can do a +1 on this. And that'll use this up. I probably should do this just because that'll negate some modifiers, hopefully. And we'll just go for the kill on him. I think that makes sense. So let's pick it. Hold on, let's make sure that this is on. Attack of 3, let's go. Actually got 4. And then I don't need to heal. And this is a big heal at a huge range as well, but it does burn. So I'm just going to start moving in a little bit closer. Do something like that. And then for him, he can tank that. He got a 0 on his attack modifier. It's good for us. And I think that muddled status impacts his attack modifiers. I think that's how it works. Anyways, let's just beat this guy into the ground. Is there any way... So here's an example. This avalanche card, okay? This is really good in this scenario because these guys are right next to each other. If I can get over here, I can use this avalanche card. It does burn the card, but it would kill both of these guys, assuming we don't get really unlucky, right? So maybe what we'll do is we'll do... do I have any other lower movements? I just need to move 2, so I can pick any, really. I'll take... Oh, actually... This is pretty good. All adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage, so I could move in with that. And then I may not use the avalanche. I will. I'll probably use it just to show you guys and show you how all the card burning and stuff works. And then here, let's see. This should kill in theory. So I'm going to try to focus on some movement-based cards to get us closer to the door there. We'll go ahead and grab Impaling Eruption, and we'll grab an attack one just in case something bad happens to us. All right. So his attack is 0 for some reason, and I'm not sure why that is. Because his muddled thing is gone. And it's not because of his attack modifier, I don't think. So something else may be happening there. But anyway, doesn't really matter. So because he's moved, he has changed our ability to use this. We actually just can't use it anymore. But what I will do is go in between them. Actually, I shouldn't say we can't use it, but its effectiveness will be lost because I'll only be targeting one person. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to get in between them. We're going to skip movement. They're both going to take damage. And then I'm going to go for just a basic attack here, I think. And we'll try and kill this guy off. We rolled a 0. We rolled a negative. That hurts. That hurts. But I like that. I like that it's like some variability. Okay, now this is really important. I didn't talk about this yet because I wanted to wait for it to happen. When you receive damage, you can just take the damage. You have a lot of health if you want, which I will do this turn. However, you can also burn cards that you have available, or you can burn discarded cards. Now, the reason that you have to burn one available is because this takes away from your immediate usage, or 2 discarded because you can't use them immediately anyways. You get these back when you rest. That's why you would get rid of more of them. So it's a trade-off, and cards are kind of like life. So if you run out of cards, you're in big trouble. You're in a bad spot. Now, I need to take this guy down, and how do we want to do that? I think we're just going to do this and go for the kill on him. So we had the 3, but it was the -1, which I don't know why he's not dying. I'm not sure why he's not dying there. But I'm going to move her closer to the door. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, let's go again. Can I get a 3? I mean, I can. I'll take this so I can take the 3. I won't hit both. It's unlikely anyways. And then I'll grab this one for some moving. And then likely before we leave this room, we'll want to rest. We'll grab both of these. Okay, let's see what he's doing now. So I do get to go first again. I'm going to try and take out this big guy first. And notice it would attack this as well, but no one's there. We got the +2, so more than enough damage. And then we'll start moving away as well. Kite this guy a little bit as we're moving towards the next room. And then hopefully... I guess we'll come back here. We'll just do a basic attack. Wait, is there something on that? No, we're good. We'll skip the rest of our movement. Got a -1 on it. Okay, so that hit. That was good. Maybe something happened there and I just missed it. I have to watch it back. But there's a lot of little things that kind of happen every time the dice rolls. And sometimes if you blink, you can miss it. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this guy to bed. I've got a range of 5 here. And then we could use a bottom one to just move, I think. And then we'll want to rest. We actually have to rest her. So when you long rest here, this is how this works. So all these cards are used up. You're going to choose one discarded card, so any one of these. And that's going to become lost. But you'll recover all of your other discarded cards, okay? Now, she has this one here, which is recovering all of our lost cards. So you can see the combination there. Once you start getting rid of cards and losing them, you want to play a Reviving Ether to get them all back. You can use this once. You also get a heal for 2 and you replenish any of your spent item cards. So these things, which is kind of nice. Anyways, we just need to rest. That's our only option, and that counts as your 2 actions. So let's see what he does here. Luckily, we get to go first. We're going to take this. And we finally got him. Okay. So here, I'm not going to trigger this. We're just going to move. Something like that is fine. and then we're going to take a turn to rest. So now I have to pick the card that we're going to discard for us. Something that I'm not finding a lot of value in. However, a lot of these are pretty good. So I kind of look at this one as like, it puts us really far back on the initiative if we want to use this, but you can also get in to do a lot of damage up close if you need. This one's tough to use because the enemies have to be lined up really well, but it is a lot of damage, so I don't really want to get rid of that. Kind of the same idea there. We want the heal. I think I'm going to get rid of Ride the Wind. And there's always a trade-off. Remember, we have Reviving Ether, so we can get those lost cards back at the end of the day. But with him now, we're going to want to rest. We'll do a long rest here. And then we can start focusing on movements with her. 1, 2, 3, 4 will open the door to the next room. And then if I have a ranged attack to follow up, because we don't know where they're going to be back there, that would probably be quite helpful. So let's do something like this and the move. And then we go. Okay, so we're going to go into the next room right away. I think I'll cut it off here. Now, I realize we've only done one room because I'm over-explaining all of the mechanics from what I have learned. We'll go through the next few rooms a little bit quicker with the understanding that we're all on the same page now. If you guys have questions, or if you have, if there's things that I've missed or misinterpreted and you're familiar with the board game, then feel free to let me know. That would be fantastic. But anyways, this was a very quick look. I'm probably gonna do like 3 episodes, maybe 20-25 minutes, just to really see what it has to offer. And again, thanks to Gloomhaven for offering to sponsor some videos. I'm really into it, and I hope as we go along, you guys kind of understand how it works, and I hope I can convey it in a good way that gets you excited about it, because honestly, I think it's got a lot of potential. And for early access, this is looking pretty cool so far. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.